911 emergency.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, listen, I'm out here at the X4. And I need a taxi cab. I'm with the carnival.
Sir, this is the 911 emergency line.
Ma'am?
This is 911.
But every time I call the operator, I can't get no operator.
Well, sir, this is an emergency phone line. We can't call a taxi cab for you on this line.
Well, what the number is to an operator?
To the police department?
To an operator.
0.
Okay.
We celebrate our last 100 episodes. We got the band Hanz Krypt. A parrot witnesses its owner's murder. We finally have BOOB trivia right here, and much, much more on this week's Live Nude Puppets. Don't say any potty words, because my mom is listening.
Hello Planet Earth, this is Live Nude Puppets.
We're back.
I'm Bobby Puppet.
I'm Jay Puppet.
Bobby thumbs feel so good. I wish you can fit them in my 16-pin outlet. I swear Bobby makes me leak lithium juice. If I was human, I would bob Bobby's knob all night long.
Today we are celebrating 100 completed episodes.
It's our birthday.
See, we didn't
Dun, 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 dun.
We didn't do this.
Play the Super Mario music.
Dude, I don't know if we can, but I'll try.
No. When he jumps on the flag, it goes dun, 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 dun. That thing. Yeah.
Anyway, we didn't pussy out like so many other podcasts that do their 100th episode celebration on episode 100. Why not, Jay? Why do we not do that?
Why would you celebrate something you didn't finish?
Right.
Those guys are celebrating 99 on 100.
Right.
We're celebrating 100 episodes.
If it ain't in the can, it ain't done.
No, if it hasn't gone through editing and polishing and all the fun stuff we do to these things to make them entertaining and
fun stuff. That's where my week goes. While everybody else is having sex and going out to dinner, I'm sitting in a fucking folding chair editing this shitty fucking show, and I can't get one goddamn listener to give me some remarks on fucking iTunes.
While he's beating off.
You could give a 5-star review while you're masturbating. We don't care. We're not picky like that.
You can do it with your mouse hand while you're pumping.
So happy 100. Thanks for being here. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, if we could stand all our friends in a line, you know, our fans and stuff, I'd give them a high five. I'd do like the running high five kind of thing. Like, you kind of like you see like they do it in football, you know? Like Cam Newton's running down the side and he's got everybody slapping hands and shit. I'd do that with our fans.
Yeah, that's around the world.
Yeah, I know. The airfare alone would be staggering.
2 Valentine's days ago, I found my wife on Tinder. I don't mean that I met her on Tinder. I mean that I found half-naked pictures of my wife on Tinder.
Howdy, Paul. How about take it like that? Oh, man. I love it.
I don't want to ever talk about negative stuff. I hate talking about negative stuff.
He won't even watch the news.
No, but this is a news story, and it's a cool news story because the parrot narked out the murderer. In Michigan, a parrot called Bud could be the key to witnesses in the fatal shooting of a man in Michigan, his ex-wife believes. She says the parrot repeats the last words said by Martin Dunham, but the prosecutors in the case are now downplaying whether the evidence should be standing up in court. The video is in the play-along section on LiveNudePuppets.com.
All right, so any normal wife, if it all of a sudden heard the parrot go,
Daddy loves tranny porn, Daddy loves tranny porn.
Yeah. The bird's not lying. It's a bird. So, they don't lie. They don't even think about lying. The bird was in the house. The bird was in the house when this awful thing took place, and the bird repeated everything everybody said when they said it. Okay. Here's the woman. And by the way,
funny, but it is. I mean, like,
no, please don't hit me. No.
I'm going to start reading from the metro.co.uk. Okay. The woman says that her parrot repeats the last words said by Martin Dunham, but the prosecutor in the case is downplaying whether the evidence should or would stand up in court. I'm not aware of any legal precedents. Okay, so this bird keeps repeating, please don't effing shoot. Please don't effing shoot. And then he says what the other person says in another voice.
Oh, so he drops an octave or two for the male voice? That's cool. I was going to ask that.
Yes.
If he's playing both parts.
The bird is reproducing the voice of the murderer. Yes.
Wow, I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, rude parrot won't shut up.
Just another great reason not to have a bird in your house.
Well, this is an African parrot.
Birds belong outside. They fly around.
Bobby Paul is with us.
I married a woman from China, and on her honeymoon, her vagina broke. And then it exploded and started on fire. But then
I've got a story of a champion.
Yes! We need a champion.
Everybody loves
story.
a champion. Well, here's our loser. And this is like the Joe Dirt reincarnate. Ready?
Go.
Here we go. It's a story about a young man who purchases a 1970 Chrysler motorhome. I bought this former motorhome brothel from one of the oldest pimps in Nevada. I believe I was conceived and born in it. My mother found it.
Whoa.
My mother found it a few years ago while volunteering for the Humane Society in Vegas. I bought it right away for $10,000 because it seemed kind of sentimental to us since my father was an My father was an aeronautical engineer turned Navy SEAL firefighter and CIA spy who worked for Richard Nixon himself. Needless to say...
Oh, you poor son of a bitch.
Tell me somebody didn't tell a shit ton of lies about how daddy's not around.
Oh, boy.
Needless to say...
Bastard. Poor bastard. That's great. I love that. So 007 had to take off.
Needless to say, didn't have much time for dating, so he would visit my mom on his rare time off and go to the mobile home where she worked while she saved up money for...
But only while I was at school. I never saw him.
Yeah, he was like a fart in church. Gone. Just out the door. Anyway, my mom and I hope to restore it to its former glory days. Could you imagine what that thing's got to be like?
He's going to have to ask his dad to show up to put the stain back on the sheet.
But man, that weighs like 4 pounds.
Hey, Dad, could you put the stain back on the sheet? The one I didn't end up in.
We're trying.
When you paid my $40 to fuck her in a trailer. I bet you it was cheaper than $40 too.
It looks like a dirty whale with like windows on it. It looks like shit.
I want to see the mom.
This thing is an embarrassment to a motorhome company.
Can you see her like come into the door in a yellow old robe and like lingerie from Kmart back in the 70s?
With a cigarette hanging out of her mouth and flip flops.
And coffee. You want some coffee?
And she's actually wearing the jewelry her kid made in kindergarten and stuff, like the noodles and stuff.
She's wearing her noodles to work.
My noodle necklace.
So where does this does it bug the kid to hear his mom having sex? And how long did she keep that job? Is it still, did they buy it back and open up as a brothel?
They don't really go into the lineage of that relationship. But there is a side story here. Apparently after applying for the permits, they were denied for a massive crab infection they were denied for a massive crab infestation as well as a mold issue. And it starts and runs well, steers good, and is good on gas. I'd like to get around 10K for it as it is clean, and I have a title in hand. P.S. Dad, if you're reading this, please email me. I would love to meet you someday.
So we get the crabs and the mold for $10,000.
You get crabs, you get mold, you get a living environment that is good on gas for $10,000.
Now,
this is the original tiny home, dude.
Yeah, but if we do some Colonel Sanders thinking here, we could buy that thing. We can package those crabs. We can sell them as Krabby Fun toys to kids.
Live nude puppet sea monkey.
Kids don't have pubic hair. No one will ever know. Nobody will ever get infected. Dad'll end up infected accidentally, and then Mom will divorce him because we started Krabby Jacks. Kids love to eat Krabby Jacks. What do you feed them? Just put them in an old pair of underwears. They'll be right at home.
Jay Puppet, and it's my extreme pleasure to introduce Vince from Hanz Krypt. How are we doing today, bud?
Doing great.
There's no such thing as a quick background with you guys. You started back in 1984, and you kind of explained to me that there was a record deal that went kind of awry in Greece, and you guys kind of got stuck in like a time capsule in a way. Is that kind of how it went?
Well, actually, the record deal here was with Atlantic Records, and we were supposed to be signed to them in about 1987. And more or less, when they seen how messed up that we were all on drugs, they didn't want to have anything to do with us after that. So that is how basically it fell apart, more or less.
I gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the band's taken on many forms in the last 30 years, and it's worked to survive and brought new members in to replace old members, and just, breathing life into Hanz Krypt.
Absolutely.
Well, I know we've talked privately, and you're very excited about your new lineup. Tell me what you got going on.
Okay, we have a new drummer. His name is Alan. I call him the Night Prowler. And he's 19 years old, and he definitely brings the doom thunder on the drums. And then I have Angel Crossover, who I call the Avenging Angel, on guitar.
That's a great stage name.
He's
really name?
Angel Crossover. That's what he goes by.
That's awesome.
But I call him the Avenging Angel. And then I have Arthur Dominguez, who's been with me on bass for about the last 20 years through various projects. And Hanz Krypt, like 2 years ago, my niece put the music up on YouTube, and it kind of took off overseas. And then we were contacted by Sonic Age Cult Metal Classic Records to release a history CD of all the stuff. And it's been being played like crazy on a whole bunch of underground net radio stations.
Well, and it's my hopes that our global fans and your global fans are going to shake hands and meet.
Absolutely.
And I thought it might be kind of cool because, I mean, there's so many different people that you end up touching in this type of media, and you never really know who they are. It's not like you can go over to some European country and shake hands like, hey, thanks for listening, man. I mean,
right.
You got a better shot at doing that than I do. But those people could be the same people, and they could be. I just thought it would be so cool that somebody would be really excited, be like, hey, can you believe the Puppets are doing Hanz Krypt, or hey, Hanz Krypt is doing this. This is so cool,
Right.
I hope that there's somebody out there that we talk and that we've both kind of come in contact with and like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. They're just throttled about it.
Yeah. We've been getting some great responses. I mean, it's been amazing. These kids coming up to me, telling me I'm a legend and this and that. I'm like, wow, man. So it's a blessing, and I'm amazed. And I have to say I'm very thankful for having YouTube to be able to get the music out to the world. And it's just like unbelievable that someone right now across the other side of the globe that I'll never meet is sitting there listening to our music.
In a way, this is kind of a good thing that it's happened this way for you. But I mean, really, back in 1984, you couldn't have talked to fans this way. You couldn't have reached them.
No.
That just wasn't there. Here's your cassette, bud.
Right.
Let me sign your album. CDs weren't really even a thing then.
Yep,
they were just
exactly.
Kind of hit the market a little bit later on. Well,
yeah. Go on.
No, go ahead.
Well, in 1984, 85, me and our bass player, we lived in Hermosa Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right down the street from us was an abandoned church that Black Flag lived in.
Cool.
As a punk band.
Yeah.
And they really, at first they didn't like us because we had long hair and this and that and everything else, and the punk scene was going pretty strong then. And they were looking down on hard rock and heavy metal until they heard us, and they realized that, hey, man, these guys, it's not wimp rock. It's some heavy shit. And they really liked it, and I became friends with some of those guys, Henry Rollins, and then the guys in St.
Henry was cool. He always seems like a guy that'd just be really cool to hang out with.
Yeah. He came and seen us quite a few times. We played with St. Vitus, who were friends of mine, and I know David Chandler and Mark Adams since high school.
Wow.
And yeah, they're you know, doom metal legends themselves.
Indeed.
Yep. So yeah, you know, that's like I said, at that point in time, the punk bands were just like really the rage here in LA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then Slayer and Metallica broke, and it kind of brought metal back to its forefront.
Yeah, in a big way.
Yep.
Well, and it's been. We talked about you having a very Black Sabbath type of feel. I mean, I know that there was a huge inspiration for you guys, but was there any other band that really kind of ignited your passion? I mean, what started the spark for you, Vince?
Well, you know, me being from Venice Beach, California, I am really into Jim Morrison, his dark style and his writing,
mm-hmm.
and the eeriness, almost haunting style of music that the Doors played. And between Black Sabbath, AC/DC with Bon Scott, and the Doors, I would have to say that they were a great influence on me in my writing.
Yeah. There always seems to be a turning point for somebody. It's like, you know, they're a student and they're doing this and they're doing that, and then all of a sudden an uncle gives me a Ted Nugent album, or there seems to be always that story that this is what sparked it. I mean, for me, it was a kid moving into my neighborhood, and he goes, "Here, listen to this." And it was the first time I had heard Metallica. I was like, wow, what am I listening to? I need more. You know,
absolutely.
What was there something that just started the fire and it won't ever go out for you? I mean,
yeah, my uncle in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
my uncle in Pittsburgh. When I was little, you know, all I was listening to was what my mom played around the house, such
mm-hmm.
as Carole King, Motown, The Temptations, the OJs, and things like that.
Oh, I had Zeppelin.
You know, and we would have sports. They would call it sports night, and it was a dance that we would go to every Friday night or once a month. You know, at the junior high.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home one day, and my uncle grabbed a hold of me, and he goes, "Hey, you need to quit listening to that stuff and come check this out." And he played Black Sabbath, the Paranoid album, for me, and my jaw just dropped. And suddenly I noticed that all my friends were growing their hair long and starting to listen to bands like Zeppelin, Blue Oyster Cult, Deep Purple, mm-hmm. UFO, and all that. And I thought to myself, how great would this be if I could start a band and be like them?
Sure.
And it was always my dream. And, you know, right now I've come further than I ever have in my life. And this journey's been a great journey. And here we are.
Yeah, this is probably a good time for us to mention your most recent voice. Excuse me. This is probably a really good time to mention your most recent vocal training. You told me that you've been in contact with a monk.
Yes. His name is Torkum. And he is a monk. And I've met him at Venice Full Circle Church, which is like a hippie church. It's a spiritual non-denominational church, and he has taught me to use my voice as an instrument. You know, it's really interesting because he has me not singing words, he has me singing sounds that create like a vibration in the air, and it's just something that has strengthened my voice, and it really loosens me up a lot and relaxes me when I sing.
Well, and I wanted to bring that up first because the band's been around so long, there's a huge cross-section of material, and you can see kind of how the band's developed over that time period, leading up to Tales from the Crypt. And you can hear that vocal training in that song. It's so different than the other stuff. It's more polished, and it's more just spot on.
Yep, absolutely.
You know,
I put a lot into it. I've never smoked cigarettes. I'm in really good shape, and I jog at least 5 miles every other day, at least 3 or 4 times a week, and you know, stay real focused. And we want to put on a great show for our fans.
Let's talk about Resurrection. This song starts with a chilling guitar intro, and then it just explodes. I mean, is that what everybody can expect from the rest of the Tales from the Crypt? there's an album that just is waiting to be just spread across the world very quickly.
Yeah, the guitar on that album is extremely ferocious. You know, it's played by our original guitar player, Phil Pedretti. And the guy is just an amazing guitarist. His parents were really well off, and when he was like 12, 13 years old, they bought him the best lessons that money could buy. And within 6 months into the lessons, the guitar teacher told him, he goes, "Hey, I can't show you anymore. You know, you're good to go." And the guy, over the years, the course of the years we were together, I would enter him in local guitar contests, and he won 11 guitar contests in a row. Never been defeated. Wow. And the people would say on like KNAC radio and some of the places that we would have them at, "Hey man, we might as well not even have this when he walks in and just give you the money right now." So
oh shit, he's back here. Just take it.
If you listen to those songs, some of them are not the best recording, but the guitar is amazing on it. And he's playing the real guitars. He's playing like the vintage Les Pauls and SGs that are worth like $30,000 and $40,000 guitars.
Wow.
And so those guitars there themselves brought that deep tone, haunting feeling, which became our trademark.
Yeah, and it sticks, man. I mean, the cool thing is you can actually hear everybody contributing to these songs, though. I mean, the bass isn't getting drowned out by anybody else. Nobody turned anything down. Everybody's kind of like right where they're supposed to be. I mean, the production sounds like it's coming out really good. Yeah, it's we put a lot into it, especially back then. And even though it was 4-track, and then some of those were actually recorded on 24-track. As you will see when you listen to it, it goes through the various years from about let's say we started recording in that CD in 86 all the way up to about 89, 90. There's different tracks from different eras on that. Well, what can fans expect from a live show then?
The fans can expect from a live show about, I'd say, 6 or 7 of the old songs, and we have 2 or 3 new ones that we're getting ready to record also and perform live. And we're going to be working on a new CD, what is going to be titled Mist and Shadows. And it's going to be extremely doom, totally heavy, and I believe maybe even a little bit heavier than what we had done in the past, seeing as how we have to stand up to our past,
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, your situation is kind of unique, and so we agreed to handle you in a unique way. We're going to have you back when that album does come out and give you an opportunity to talk about it again. There's just so much material for you to talk about. It didn't seem fair to do it all in one show. So, I mean, we're going to have to move things around a little bit for you, but yeah. I definitely want to have you come back and talk about that as well.
Okay.
I mean, you guys have had your chops.
Yep.
I got to ask, I'm sure there's something really strange or scary, disgusting. What stands out in your mind as far as a tour story?
As far as what? Being
on tour and having something just bizarre happening, or is there any weird stories that occurred that just stand out in your mind?
Well, I'll have to start off like this. Our bass player, Mark Hayes, and he dyes his hair purple. And being his last name is Hayes, everybody starts calling him Purple Hayes, right?
Makes sense.
Well, coincidentally, the guy was selling LSD, and he started taking it, like 2 and 3 hits at a time. Well, over a course of time, he got so immune to it that he was up to 16 hits a day, right?
Oh, my God.
Yes, before he would even get off on it, he would have to take that many, so he was just popping it like candy. Well, Bon Scott dies, and it's really on his mind. And one day, he just disappears, and we have no idea where he's at. His family doesn't know where he's at. Weeks go by, then months go by, then years go by, and we don't hear from him whatsoever. And here to come to find out that he decided one day that he was going to go down to the docks in Long Beach and jump on a ship that he figured out was going to Australia. The boat was not going to Australia. It was going to China. So halfway, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
halfway
shit.
out to sea, they catch him somewhere hiding in the ship. They bring him to the captain's quarters. The captain flips out, makes this guy his slave, and then now the guy is like serving the captain his dinners and swabbing the deck and cleaning pots and pans and everything, right?
Well, I'm sure they're inventing jobs for this guy.
Yeah. All the way to China. They get him to China, right? And he has to work for the captain for like another, I don't know how long, at least another 6 months to a year to pay for his passage over. That's what they figured, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, and at this time, they had a sign they put around his neck. To this day, he still doesn't know what it said. And little children would point at him and laugh, and old people would laugh at him and stuff. And he had to wear this sign at all times as he was walking around, you know?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So finally, he comes back and he tells us the story, and we're just like stunned, you know?
Well, I mean, should it come as a surprise to everybody that a guy that has to take 16 doses a day finds the wrong boat? I mean, like, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it don't stop there. I mean, there's other stories that you know, like this one. Me and him were living in an apartment, like I said, in Hermosa Beach. On a Sunday night, he says to me, "Hey, man, I'm going to take this 4 hits of acid and I'm going to go out, man, and trip around, man. You want to come with me?" I go, "Nah, dude, I'm just going to kick it and watch TV." So the dude don't come home all night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And about maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from the Hermosa Beach Police Department. And they're asking me, do I know a Mark Hayes? And I go, yeah, why? Well, he's our bass player. I go, well, he's down here at the station, and we have him here, and he seems really happy, and he's on something, but we don't know what he's on. I'm going, what? So I wake our band manager up. We go down to the station, the police station, to pick him up, walk in, and he's sitting there, not even handcuffed or nothing. The watch commander's doing some paperwork. And we walk in and we go, well, what's happening? You know? And they go, well, take a look at him. He looks like he's glowing like a nuclear waste dump, you know? And, you know, but he's harmless. He's just sitting here smiling. And what happened was, oh, yeah, he's alive. What happened was an officer was doing patrol and seen him standing on the corner of Pier Avenue. Came back 2 hours later, and he was still standing there staring at the stop sign. The officer asked him where he was or who he was and where he was going, this and that, and he couldn't tell him.
But what was Mark
seeing
only
when 2 blocks from the sign? Huh?
It makes you wonder what Mark was actually seeing when he was looking at the sign.
Yeah, he was 2 blocks from home, and he was lost.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. He couldn't find his way home. And that's just how it was, man. I mean, yeah, there's so many stories about back then with that guy. You know, the guy's an incredible bass player, a great artist. You know, he could draw anything, but it's hard for him to even carry on a normal conversation anymore.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. Rock and roll casualty.
Well, at least he's walking the earth. Somebody
aren't,
you know,
that's true.
They get too far down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely true.
Well, I know that you've decided that you know you're gonna start a tour to support this new album. When do you suppose that's gonna kick off?
This coming Saturday, June 11th, in San Diego at the Rook.
Very nice.
Yep.
Okay. How many dates are you planning?
So far, we have 30 dates lined up. And as we're going along, more and more just keep popping up. So it looks like we're going to be busy throughout the whole summer and into the fall.
You going to make it out of California? Come more this way?
Yes, I believe that we've got some things lined up in Arizona and Nevada and Utah at the moment.
Well, if you find your way out to Texas, let me know.
You know I will.
I definitely want to come check this out.
Cool.
Where can your fans buy your CDs and shirts and stuff? And do you have a website set up where?
Well, at the moment, the CDs can be purchased through Sonic Age Cult Metal Classic. Records.
Okay.
And T-shirts, you would have to contact the band on our Facebook page, which is Hanz Krypt Official.
And we'll provide both these links on our show notes. So fans can see the stuff, and it'll be posted on the websites and everything else. So I'll need all that from you in an email. Just when this is all said and done and everything, we'll get it all together in one place.
Sounds great.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank? I mean, over 30 years of of Hanz Krypt. I mean, there's got to be a laundry list of people that have helped contribute over the years.
Well,
your chance, man. Go for it.
First of all, I would like to thank my former wife, Jackie Sklar, who is now married to the drummer of Black Sabbath, Bill Ward, for her believing in me when we were young. Second of all, I would like to thank Ronnie Van Zant, Bon Scott, Jim Morrison, and John Fogerty, and Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, and the Beatles also, for teaching me how to write or learn from the best. I've actually been so lucky to win awards in country music even, you know, so I learned my lessons well and took it to heart, and music is all I've ever loved, and it's all I ever wanted to do. It's made me happier and higher than any drug that I've ever been on, and I've been on a lot of them, but there's no feeling like being on stage.
You know, I want to thank you, Vince, for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're trying to wrap everything up with the album and, you know, obviously kick off your tour and get everybody's show ready. It's been great hanging with you. I'm really looking forward to doing a follow-up interview with you after that album comes out so we can talk about that, and, you know, maybe we can catch you in mid-tour, talk about how the tour is actually going, depending on how the whole thing lines up. In the spirit of Dave Mustaine, you've been great. We've been Live Metal Puppets, and thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you so much. Take care.
That I bought some shoes from China, and when I put them on, they broke, and then they exploded, and then they started on fire. But just a couple weeks ago, I ordered a mail-order ISIS terrorist, and when I opened the box, she broke, she exploded, and then she started on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Celebrity Boobs Trivia, where we give you pictures. Today we have contestant Steve. Steve, welcome to the Live Nude Puppet Celebrity Boobs Trivia game.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, brother.
All right, and we have a live nude puppet himself, because we couldn't find anybody who wanted to play this game. Jay.
I love playing the booby game.
Puppet. All right. First up, you gentlemen have everyone playing at home can go to livenudepuppets.com, click on Play Along, and scroll down to Celebrity Boobs, the third post. Very simple. Actually, you can just click right on it from livenudepuppets.com if you want to play along with Celebrity Boobs. All right. Photo number one. Our gentlemen, have you both inspected photo number one?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have it? First guess without any word hints goes to Steve. Steve, who do you think those boobs belong to?
Well, I was hoping they belonged to my girlfriend, but I'm pretty sure they're not her boobs. So, with that being said, I'm going to go with Heather Locklear.
Incorrect. Boobs number one.
I'm going to go with Stevie's girlfriend, but apparently that's not the case. So I'm going to go with Jennifer Aniston.
Incorrect, gentlemen. So let us get, here is our first hint. She started her career as a 4-year-old appearing in a hot dog commercial.
You know what it is? It's the girl that played his wife on the show, right? Lori...
You can look, but that is incorrect.
Okay.
What would you like to get? Jason.
I was going to go with Rebecca Ramon Stamos, whatever her name was.
Appeared on Good Morning America to talk about her addiction to meth, as she had been clean and sober since December 2008. Okay? Grew up in Cypress, California, hometown of her Full House co-star, John Stamos.
Okay, I'm going to guess Jodie Sweetin.
Jodie Sweetin for the win. It is, in fact, Jodie Sweetin.
I have no idea who that is.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
nice
do.
boobs.
You just never masturbated to her.
I just know her chest now.
J Puppet. For those of you playing at home, we're on photo number 2, and here's the first hint. She was ranked 8th of 100 sexiest women by FHN in Taiwan, 2001. Incorrect.
Damn it.
Stevie frequently collaborates with Antonio Banderas and Robert Rodriguez and is godmother to Robert Rodriguez's grandchildren.
I think the boobs are very beautiful, but they might be a little too small for Salma Hayek.
Selma Hayek is correct for the second
Are they
point.
really?
Right.
It is Selma
Oh,
Hayek.
nice. Very
Yep.
nice, bud.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Okay,
Everybody
picture
wins
number
here.
3. Girl in the pajamas by the 80s car. Okay, this is my favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're playing at home, you're on LiveNudePuppets.com, you clicked on Play Along, and you're looking at photo number 3 in Celebrity Boobs. All right. First, let's take a guess without a hint. Jay, who has already lost the game 2 out of 3, take a guess by the photo.
This has got to be Betty White.
You're incorrect, sir.
Damn it.
Steve, a guess from the photo.
Let's go back to Full House. Gloria Metcalf.
You are incorrect, sir. Here are your hints. Hint number 1, she is a vegetarian. Jay, with the guess? So it's not a shutout?
It's got to be Barbara Bush.
You're incorrect. You're just throwing this away. Steve?
Straight face for this shit.
I'm sure everybody's enjoying it more. You're taking it so seriously. Steve?
I'm so glad you don't have Barbara Bush's boobs on the show.
No.
Hey, I bet you she was something back in the day, all right?
You know, maybe way back in the day.
Like around, the paleo.
Like before cars.
Paleo age.
Go with Kate Upton.
Incorrect, sir. Here are 2 more hints. She grew up in Waco, Texas, and is a dedicated animal lover, starting her own animal rescue organization in 2001 called Animal Avengers. She has recently shut down Animal Avengers to start a new nonprofit for animals to focus on helping in a much bigger national capacity, and posed for Playboy magazine in 1997 and 1998 and says it's one of her biggest regrets.
But I'm going to guess the girl that was, I believe she was the French girl in American Pie, the brunette. I think her name was Shannon
say,
something.
What did you're right. You are correct. There's Shannon Elizabeth.
Wow.
Steve,
Yeah,
you
right.
shut Jay out. Steve
I've been
knows
staring at the
boobs
same pair for
better
about 10
than
years.
a 3-month-old baby. Well, that was Celebrity Boob Trivia with Steve and Jay. Feel free to go to LiveNudePuppets.com and fill in where it says band sign up. Well, when you get to the page, you'll see contestant sign up. It's all the same. Fill it in. Let us know why you're contacting us, and you could be the next contestant on Celebrity Boob right here on Live Nude Puppets. Peace and love worldwide. Live life before life lives you.
Adios. Goodbye, everybody. Hey, Live Nude Puppet fans, go to LiveNudePuppets.com to get your Live Nude Puppets t-shirt. We got one for $9.99. We got one for $12.99. We got double-sided, you name it. But our fans come first, the lowest prices in t-shirts, and the only t-shirt that gets you laid.
I love that.